And good morning at 7:04 on this Thursday, March 9th. It's time to head to Studio B for Coleman and Company.
Hello, everybody. Welcome a Thursday morning. We're glad to have you with us. And, of course, on Thursday mornings, we're on the air from Bates Ford, 1673 West Main in Lebanon, the dealer that'll trade for anything it don't eat. And our usual two are with us this morning. Let me welcome Paul Tubbs, General Manager. Good morning.
Good morning.
And Ronnie Kelly in sales. Ronnie, good morning.
Good morning.
Good to see you both. Well, we talk a lot about the same thing each week, but we try to say it a little bit differently. Ronnie, you want to sell cars, right?
Yes, sir.
That's what you're there for.
Yes, sir.
And
Selling
you've been
cars.
doing it for 36 years.
Doing it for 36 years. Selling that F-150.
It's seldom a Thursday goes by that we don't mention that Ford F-150, which is your pride and joy, I think.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Well, how many you got today?
Well, we got several. We're still getting our vehicles in for us new ones, and our new inventory is doing real well. And the trucks we do have a good selection of new trucks right now, and we still need to get more, but we have a great selection of used trucks. Mr. Bakes went and bought some more trucks this past week. I think we got maybe 10 Rangers or so that he came and he bought this week. And Mr. Tubb probably give you more information on that, but I went out there and watched him get off the truck, and that's going to be, if we can get them out on the lot, get them cleaned up, and they'll be ready for the weekend.
What's the difference in the Ranger and the F-150?
Ranger's a smaller truck. It's a kind of compact truck. A lot of people, when they retire, they get a small truck like a Ranger.
Yeah.
And the F-150, it could do more pulling, but a Ranger can pull also. It can pull a boat. We can get a four-wheel drive. But a lot of people like that a compact truck when they get old, just take the trash off and drive around.
All right. Well, Paul, I'm sure you agree with that.
Yeah, I got my son a Ranger, so it's a good teenage vehicle as well because it teaches them to drive, and it's smaller where they're not driving quite as big of a truck as an F-150. So them Rangers are very reliable vehicles. We actually got 9 Rangers that we bought. And we, on the new side, they've got 0% interest, which is very rare on some SUVs, Edge and Explorers. And there's a $3,000 rebate. We haven't seen that in a couple of years where you get a rebate plus, the 0%. So with the interest rates kind of creeping up on homes and cars, that 0% is a pretty big deal.
Yeah. Well, what else is going on in your world at Bates Ford, let's say?
Well, we're just plugging right along, trying to keep up with the new dealership's progress. And all in all, everything's pretty good. Our inventory's gotten back. The used inventory's in really good shape. Service staying busy as always.
Well, you have a lot to offer when it comes to service, and you have different specials that you run from time to time. Some of them, I know, of course, the oil change is a continuing special.
Yeah, we say we run the cheapest oil change in town, and we do. Oil and the prices is kind of like everything else has gone up, but we stay very, very competitive. Actually, I believe cheaper than anyone. Of course, I always say we don't just dump oil in it. We'll pull your car in. We do a thorough inspection, make sure we'll give you a measurement on tires, brakes, batteries, and we always run specials. Ford will meet or beat anybody's price on tires, so that's an excellent thing. Batteries, you're my testament. I remind you every week, your battery was $200 and something, and I got it to you for about $150, so...
It's still doing well.
You still got...
One morning, that thing just wouldn't turn over. And then I wasn't sure what the problem was. But when we replaced that battery, it's worked fine ever since.
3-year free replacement, best warranty in town, 100-month proration. And then brakes, we always run brake special. And, what we do is we'll give you a copy of that inspection. And I explained it to a customer the other day. She was in the showroom, and I said, she said, "What is this yellow?" And I said, "Well, kind of the way the system works is it's kind of like a red light. So it's green, you're good. Yellow, you got a little caution. And then red, you need immediate attention." So, it will give you copies of that when you get your vehicle serviced.
Well, that's very meaningful, too. And really, I think, very thoughtful of you. You're thinking of the customer. You're thinking of yourself, too. Something wrong, hopefully they're going to let you fix it, but they don't have to.
Right, and we always code our ROs, which is the repair order. When we work on your car, we'll put a code on there. So, people will pick the car up and they'll go, "What's this green brake battery tire?" I said, "Well, that means everything," and I'll flip it over and show them the inspection sheet. And then if it's yellow, and generally it's kind of what we call around the wheel, we have a program where if you do have a brakes or if you do need batteries or you do need tires, we'll send you a coupon in the mail.
Yep. All right, well, Ronnie, I guess back to you. Today would be a good day.
Right, today will be a great day. I'd like for Paul to do one more thing. He got youth baseball. We got a coupon in that book. It's called The Works. And I think he can tell you all about it. That's a great deal.
Yeah, we're proud sponsors of Lebanon Youth Baseball. I actually coached my 10-year-old son who was in our commercial the other day with me and Tony. So be on the lookout for Braden on TV. But anyway, his 10-year-old youth baseball, I believe real heavily in that youth baseball program they've got. They don't charge for kids to play baseball, but how they do make it is they sell these coupon books. Well, these coupon books have over $300 worth of coupons in them. And especially at Bates Ford, for the oil change and the tire rotation, it's normally $59.95. We do it for $49.95. There's a coupon in there. There's a coupon for restaurants, Sports World, all the local businesses. But there's $300 worth of coupons in this book, and we have some at Bates Ford if anybody wants to come get one. But each baseball team sells them, and that's how they let the kids play baseball for free, and I think that's a really good program.
All right, good to have you all, of course. Remember, Bates Ford, 1673 West Main in Lebanon, the dealer to trade for anything you don't eat. Y'all have a great week.
Thank you.
All right, see you next time. We're 10 minutes after the hour, and this morning I have Officer Richard Clark with me, and I guess we can say he is substituting for Lieutenant P.J. Hardy. Good morning.
Morning, Coleman.
Do we want to tell why you're here? This is not a secret, is it?
No, he's had a procedure. He's going to be out for a lengthy time, and I'm just going to try to fill his shoes while he's out.
Well, we're glad to have you today, and but I understand he's already had the surgery, and now he's recovering. But
He's
it's going to
doing
a
well.
period of time to get recovered.
Yes, he's doing well. I talked to him last night, and hopefully he sounds very good spirits.
Good.
So.
Well, you have been doing the DARE program, which we want to talk about. What are some of the other things that you do? I mean, that's not your full-time job.
It's not. DARE's been amazing. I've had a lot of fun this year, built a lot of relationships. I've got one more school left out of the 5 elementary schools here in Lebanon. But what I'm preparing for right now, starting next Thursday, is the Citizen Police Academy. They can go on our website, social media, Facebook, Twitter, and get the application, email it to us. And deadline is I'm hoping to have it done by today or tomorrow because I've got to do some checks and due diligence to make sure that people can attend. Seating may be limited depending on how many people submit applications, but it's a very good program. It's an opportunity to meet individuals in the department.
How long have you been a part of that?
I've helped through the years. I've helped PJ. But this last the Citizen Police Academy class, I ended up helping him every week. It's an 8-week program. So this one will be the first time I'm filling in and starting the program with him out. But I'm excited for the opportunity.
Well, what is there an overall purpose to have this?
I think it gives you an opportunity to see the officers and the employees of our department and see our personalities and see we're people just like everyone else. But you also get to see what we do. We have a lot to offer with Lebanon Police Department, so it's a great opportunity.
Well, I'm sure there's a lot more than just seeing police cars out on patrol, or maybe do you get an opportunity to ride with one of them?
They actually get the opportunity to do ride along with patrol officers, but they get to see anywhere from detectives and our K-9 unit, and they'll see a demonstration with the dogs. They meet with detectives. It's a very broad range of opportunities to see what we have to offer.
Do you get to go through the new station there on Sparta Park?
They get a full tour there, and the classes are actually held in there every week.
Oh, okay. And now, when's this going to start?
Starts next Thursday.
So, okay, and you want to get it wrapped up by today or tomorrow? Tomorrow, probably, for sure.
I do. I want to make sure I'm done this week. That way I can get in touch with everybody beginning of the week.
Well, now, are you limited? I know you're somewhat limited, but do you actually draw the line in saying this many and no more, or?
At some point, yes. I don't have that. I'm not at that number yet, but I will say, hey, we don't have the room.
Right, but you got room for a few more.
I do have room for a few more.
Get them in soon. How do you do that? Online?
You can go to our website, or you can go, there's a link on Facebook and Twitter. There's a post where the application is, and they can just print it off, fill it, and email it back.
And you're pretty much committed to which night of the week do you?
That's going to be Thursday evenings for the next 8 weeks, starting next
So
week.
you're pretty much committed to 8 Thursday nights here to show up and participate.
You are, and that's hard. I understand. People got a lot going on in life in these days, but it's a very good opportunity to see what we have to offer.
Okay, time for us to take a break. Officer Richard Clark, also known as Dick Clark. For those of us who were around back in the 60s when, what was it, American Bandstand?
That's right.
And Dick Clark was the host of that, so you got his name. It's not one that's hard to remember. So.
No.
But anyway, we appreciate having you here, and we've got more to talk about after we go to this break. You're on Coleman and Company, FM 98.9.
And it's 7:14. Let's see what's happening on the roadways. Thanks, Absolute Kubota. They have a deal designed to keep you ahead of schedule. Check out the world's #1 selling compact excavator plus 0% financing. It's going on now until the end of the year. 1506 West Main. Now with traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. Still pretty busy, but it's moving on 24 up through the Hickory Hollow area. All that traffic leaving Rutherford County, Murfreesboro, headed towards Nashville. Steady flow of traffic continues on I-40 through Mount Juliet. It does look better now through Wilson County, where we had that earlier wreck on 40 out there around Linwood. Traffic still a little bit heavy at times. 65 south over here at Long Hollow Pike. All that traffic working its way down from the north there, north of Nashville. Hey, Princess Hot Chicken is hiring. Check out that menu today. PrincessHotChicken.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Renewal happens here at Lebanon Center for Rehabilitation and Healing. Lebanon Center for Rehabilitation and Healing has experienced new leadership and a new atmosphere. Same location in the heart of Lebanon, 731 Castle Heights Court on the Castle Heights campus. Lebanon Center for Rehabilitation and Healing is providing 5-star clinical outcomes to short-term and long-term care residents. Call 615-444-4319 for a tour and to experience the new culture. Renewal happens here at Lebanon Center for Rehabilitation and Healing.
I do a lot of thinking while I'm driving. I think about my kids, my grandkids, and my insurance business. When's the last time you thought about having your insurance program reviewed? This is John Bryan with THW Insurance. We're an independent, trusted choice insurance agency representing several top-rated insurance companies like Westfield Insurance Company. Give me a call at 615-443-3849 for a no-obligation review of your current insurance plan. THW Insurance Services, serving Lebanon and Wilson County for decades.
A.G. & Johnson is your experienced real estate and auction company, specializing in residential, commercial, and personal property auctions. Did you know that auctions are a fast and efficient way to sell your property? Auctions reduce time on the market and have an exact selling date. Call us for an in-home consultation today at 615-444-0909. A.G. & Johnson Realty and Auction, 728 West Main Street in Lebanon, or find us online at agandjohnson.com. Voted best auction company in Wilson County.
And we continue here on a Thursday morning. If you just joined us, we welcome you, and we're happy to have Officer Richard Clark with us this morning. Really an assistant public information officer, assistant to Lieutenant P.J. Hardy. And he is going to be, let's say he's incapacitated for a little while here. And it may be that you come back in April, and as I told you earlier, it wouldn't kill us if both of you showed up. You've been here once with him, I believe.
I've been here once with him, and I've been here a couple times, just you and I.
Yeah, right. Well, I didn't tell you this, but let's talk just a little bit about how you got into law enforcement. It may be a little bit about your background. You were telling me you grew up in Wilson County, then actually graduated from McGavock High School, I believe.
I did. I went to W.A. Wright and the old Mount Juliet Junior High, and then ended up went to high school at McGavock and graduated from McGavock. And as soon as I had the opportunity, I moved back to Wilson County.
Well, what are some of your interests, or what were some of your what got you to be a police officer? I guess that's where I'm headed with this.
My grandfather was Metro police officer for his whole career, and I grew up around that. And we had other family members that were Metro police, and I told them that I wanted to be a police officer, and they just begged me, please don't go work for Metro at the time. And so I started out with the Metro Nashville Airport Police, and they're a Department of Public Safety, so police, fire, EMS. So that's kind of where I started a little bit ago.
How did you get here?
So I was actually, I after I left the airport, I started teaching at McGavock High School, teaching criminal justice to the high school kids. And I was still doing police work at the time, and ended up doing a competition with high school kids and met PJ at one of the events, and he ended up talking me into applying, and I got hired out here.
How long you been here?
I started in 2017.
Oh, okay. So you've got a few years under your belt.
Couple years here.
Yeah. But you no doubt enjoy this police academy that you're going to be starting here.
The Citizen Police Academy.
Citizen Police Academy.
I do. I really do enjoy it. It's I enjoy meeting new people in general. So it's an opportunity to meet people in our community and hear their stories. But I also like to sell our department and our officers and really let people see who we are as people.
Well, you just brought up something here, because even in the news yesterday, a couple of police departments that did not get glowing reports, let's say. So it's quite a bit of criticism from Louisville and Memphis. And those sort of things got to eat at you, and especially the perception that the public may get when they see some of the bad apples that are in the barrel.
There unfortunately in this day and age, there are the bad apples, as you said, but in law enforcement as a whole, most of us are good people and want to be part of the community, help the community, and I feel like Lebanon, we have a really good department. We have the support of our community, so this is a great opportunity for us to continue to build that.
But you have a standard that you try to uphold and to live up to. I'm sure individually as well as department wise, and every once in a while, I mean, we're not perfect. Something's going to go wrong, or somebody's going to make a mistake. But hopefully, it's made with the right attitude, and just a mistake in something it's not all that bad. But every once in a while, some of these things get out of control, and it really gives the police a black eye.
It does, and it's just about how you handle it in the time. And I try to teach people, and I am at the age now where I have taught younger officers, but it's be humble, treat people the way you want to be treated, and I still live by that now.
Yeah. Well, I know that you like this DARE program, and we could talk about that a little bit. Here again, you have an opportunity to influence these, and they're still children, really, you're dealing with that are in school.
They are. I'm dealing with fifth graders, so I'll tell you this. I mean, they keep you on your toes, but they've helped me improve who I am this year. They've, which some of it, we put it out on social media, but my canine partner died back in January, my retired one, and the kids really came through, and they ended up having one of their SROs reach out to me and surprise me with a plaque for, the years of service my partner gave to the city. And it's a great relationship. It's a great opportunity for us to be around the children.
Well, you not only get close to people, some of them especially, but you get close to that canine.
Oh, I did. He's I've got two daughters, but he was my child. I mean, I spent more time with that dog than I did my wife and kids while he was working. So, yes, definitely was close.
How long did you have him?
I got him in 2018, so I had him close to 5 years. Well, it had been 5 years, and it's just unfortunate we didn't see what happened with him, and it ended up being pretty rough there at the end. It happened quick.
I don't think I've ever talked to anybody, really, any canine officer about this, and we've got plenty of time here this morning. I don't think every police officer would like to have that dog and be responsible and do all that, but evidently you like that, and then you get attached to it. To talk about all that.
It's a lot of work. Not only when you're at work, yes, you're here to work, you got your partner and you're working, but when you go home, it doesn't stop. And you've got to learn to manage the personal family time, but you've also got that dog depends on everything from you. So it's a lot of work that people don't think about. I'll be honest, I didn't think about it when I applied for the position. I didn't think that how much work goes into it. And the hours are different than patrol, and you really have to be prepared at any moment. The phone rings, you're going to assist who needs it.
When somebody before you, I take it, has trained that dog.
So my partner was actually with one of our captains at the time. So and then we do train. When they buy these dogs, they come. Right now they're coming from overseas, and they end up doing quite a lengthy time training with our canine trainer, and then we end up training with the dog for a period of time before we even get to back in the city of Lebanon.
Are there some problems you encounter in getting connected and getting to work well with that dog?
I'll be honest, they gave me a dog that had a similar personality to me. So he was a little quirky and had his issues, but you know what? We all have those, and he and we actually bonded fairly quick. But it's, for me personally, it was learning how to speak his commands. My wife was talking about it the other day. I'm fairly country when you hear me talk, but learning how to speak German in his commands, that wasn't the easiest for me. So having that opportunity where he actually understood what I was asking him to do, it took me a couple of weeks to figure that process out.
Is there any discipline that you have to apply to that dog? I mean, if I take it's he or she gets out of line.
There is. I mean, honestly, it's like having a child. Oh. You do have to. You may have to correct them, and you may have to do it in the middle of us working. I mean, they're very smart animals, but it is like having a child with you 24 hours a day.
What are some of the things you've used in the police line of police work? Used that dog for?
So mine was explosives and non-aggressive tracking. So he would, of course, any type of explosive materials, but firearms. We work special events. So the Wilson County Fair for numerous years, now the Wilson County State Fair, we were there every year for that. We worked 2019, I believe it was, the NFL draft. We spent the time down there working. That was a great opportunity and fun. I think that was 3 or 4 days we were down there. Then we have anything from incidents involving guns, which we got used quite a bit to go if there's interactions with patrol and someone had a firearm that they suspected, and they could call us out, and we would go out and search for the gun.
What are the chances the dog's going to make a mistake?
I'll be honest, I trust that dog probably more than I would trust me. That dog's sole purpose is what you train that dog for. They live for that moment. Work is playtime. So when he got down to the point he understood when I started that SUV, when I put on this uniform, he knew the difference of just me running around the house. There were days I'd go to training without him and would get in uniform and get in that SUV, and he would lose. I mean, you just hear him barking. He got upset because he wasn't going with me.
I'm glad we've been able to have this conversation. I've learned a little bit here. Well, you got a couple of minutes. Let's wrap it up talking about DARE, because here again, you got fifth graders, and you said you've been through what are you doing, the special school district schools?
I am.
So you've got the last one you're going to do.
I've got Jones Brummett left, and it's just been unfortunate because it's me this year that I was not able, scheduling-wise, to get all 5 of those schools in last semester. So here after TCAP testing is done, I'm going to be up there at their school, and I'm very excited for that opportunity. I've had a lot of fun this year.
Well, tell us quickly here what it'll be like. How long are you there?
Well, they're going to be my first school that I'll be there for 2 weeks. And it's going to be a crash course. I mean, they'll have the whole program, but I've got 2 weeks to get that school done because of summer break after that. But they're going to get the full. I'm not going to, bypass anything, but I'm going to have to, like you said a minute ago, the discipline side. We're going to have to be disciplined so I can get through it in 2 weeks.
What will they learn from this?
So compared to the old DARE program when I was growing up, they've really revamped it. It's a good program, and it's more about life decisions. And honestly, that's what our younger generation needs. They need to know how to, it's not say no to drugs necessarily, but if you can teach them how to make their own decisions and they're going to need to say no to more than drugs in this day and age. Mm-hmm. So if you can teach them the right ways and then honestly build confidence in them. So unfortunately, peer pressure is really big, and bullying, all these other topics. That's what we discuss, and I try to give them ways to get around it if they may not know how.
Do you feel like you're able to reach most of those that sit and listen to you?
I did better this year than I thought I would. I was nervous to entertain 20, 25 kids, and then I ended up having 4 schools there in the fall. I didn't know how the kids were going to take to it. They really responded to it well and taught me quite a bit. I'm hoping to see the DARE program grow next year. Yeah. So it's
the fact that they presented you with that plaque, the recognition there, your partner, let's say, that says a lot.
It meant a lot, and it did say a lot to me because I have made those relationships with the kids.
Yep. Well, time's come and gone this morning. Thanks for being with us. We'll probably see you a month from now.
You probably will. I appreciate it.
And happy trails and all that good stuff.
Thank you.
Officer Richard Clark with the Lebanon Police Department, my guest here this morning, and that's part 1 of Coleman and Company. We hope you'll keep it here for more. FM 98.9.
And it's 7:29. Let's see what's happening on the roadways. Thanks to Bates Ford, the Works Vehicle Checkup. They'll make sure your vehicle is ready for any road. It's $49.95 up to 5 quarts oil, tax and disposal, tire rotation, and safety check. 1673 West Main. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. Still pretty busy, but it's moving on 24 up through the Hickory Hollow area. All that traffic leaving Rutherford County, Murfreesboro, headed towards Nashville. Steady flow of traffic continues on I-40 through Mount Juliet. It does look better now through Wilson County, where we had that earlier wreck on 40 out there around Linwood. Traffic still a little bit heavy at times. 65 south over here at Long Hollow Pike. All that traffic working its way down from the north there, north of Nashville. Hey, Princess Hot Chicken is hiring. Check out that menu today. PrincessHotChicken.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
What is your passion? How can you use that passion to enrich your community? Hi, this is Melanie Minter, President and CEO of the Lebanon-Wilson County Chamber of Commerce. Your chamber is the resource for making connections to fulfill your passion. Whether education, nonprofit, agriculture, entertainment, or government relations, Wilson County offers a place for you to be involved. Your chamber connects businesses, individuals, and your passion to the community. We have an enthusiasm for excellence. Join us and catch the spirit. Call or visit our office at 149 Public Square in Lebanon.
The Red Hot Cumberland Phoenix baseball team will return home for a 3-game Mid-South Conference homestand against Shawnee State starting Friday at 2 o'clock with a single game and then Saturday at noon with a doubleheader. Catch all the action on these radio stations or on GoCumberlandAthletics.com. Go Phoenix!
A wet day ahead for us with chances for showers across the area, but fortunately no severe weather to contend with. Look for a high of 57 later today, dropping to 49 degrees in the overnight hours. The clouds stick around for Friday morning, but then the sun is back to start the weekend.
This weather forecast is brought to you by Walker Auction and Realty, professional auction and real estate services. Get top dollar for your home, land, or personal property. Log on to MikeWalkerAuctions.com. They know auctions. That's a look at your forecast. I'm number 1 Ned.
And we continue here on this Thursday morning. Welcome to part 2 of Coleman Company. Welcome Jay White here. Talk about A.G. and Johnson Realty and Auction. Good morning.
Good morning, Coleman.
How are you doing?
Oh, just fine. Glad to be back this morning.
Well, we're glad to have you with us, of course. Jay is the owner of A.G. and Johnson Realty, 728 West Main in Lebanon. www.agandjohnson.com, and that phone number 615-444-0909. We got some auctions to talk about.
We do, Coleman, we do. This Saturday morning, we're going to be out on Bloats Ferry. We've got a nice 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath home out there located on 5 open acres out on Bloats Ferry, a good tract of land and a nice, neat home out there. We've got lots of personal property to go along with it. If you're interested in anything, we probably got it out there this Saturday morning. We've got 4-wheel drive trucks. We've got SUVs, tractors, cars, all types of woodworking and tools, and then also have some furniture and glassware for the ladies. So it's just going to be a nice, fun day out there. So come out and be with us. There's some great quality vehicles and all kinds of different things out there to sell Saturday morning.
Yes, you'll be there till it's all gone.
We will. I'm not planning on anything else Saturday. The Saturday morning anyway, but and then Saturday afternoon at 5, there's you notice we had a young man here in town that had a boating accident.
Yes.
And we were privileged. Ken Nelson out at his place out off of, I believe he's off of Horn Springs Road, but he's having a little fundraiser out there in an auction. And he's asked us out there to come out and participate and help with that. So if you don't have anything going on Saturday afternoon, come out and participate and get involved in a good fundraiser.
You people who are auctioneers, and especially the good ones, get asked to do that a lot.
Well, it's part of the trade. I mean, we enjoy giving back, and we enjoy doing them, and don't mind it at all. I mean,
right.
It'd be a good fun night.
Well, hopefully you'll raise a lot of money as well.
We hope so. We want to wish out and hope Cody. I understand he got to come home this week, so hopefully he's enjoying being at home for a few days, and hopefully he'll have a speedy recovery.
All right, what else you got this morning?
Well, we do have our knife sale going on, our online knife sale that's going on, and it ends this coming week from today. We will have a viewing Sunday afternoon out on Hunters Point Pike. If you're 1612 Old Hunters Point Pike, if you want to come out and look at these knives, you can come out Sunday afternoon from 1 to 3, and go through, and we'll have them displayed out there for your convenience to look at if you want to come out.
Well, you may have said this, and it may not matter, but is this one person's collection?
It is. This is Mr. Charles Scudder's knife collection.
Okay.
Mr. Charles, he started collecting knives in elementary school, and so it's a whole lifelong collection of knives here that he's had. He had a passion for pocket knives, and through the years he collected many rare and unusual knives.
So all of these are actually his collection.
All of these actually was in his collection. I don't see how he kept up with all of them.
Wow, and so many different kinds. Too.
That's true. That's true. He had a passion for all different types. He just didn't stop with one.
So if you're the
One
highest
brand.
bidder, one of them could be yours, maybe more than one.
Absolutely, that's true. That's true. And then I also want to briefly talk about, if you're interested in any farm machinery, we do have a midweek farm machinery show out on Maple Hill Road for Mr. Lewis Fletcher. I don't know, a lot of folks here in the community know Lewis, and in the county, he was a retired agricultural teacher, and he retired several years ago from our school system. A lot of us went through his program back early on, and I think he retired as a principal, but he has decided to stop his farming operation. He's going to retire from farming altogether, and we're selling all of he was in beef cattle, and we're selling all of his cattle working equipment and his hay working equipment. And that'll be out on Maple Hill Road on the 22nd of March. But Lewis has got a good assortment of farm equipment. If you're looking for some good equipment, he kept it well maintained, and it's got a lot of, I think all you'll have to do is carry it home and go to work with it.
Well, just some nice looking stuff here. And that's Wednesday, March 22nd.
That's Wednesday, March 22nd, 10 a.m.
All right.
Sure
well,
is.
you just full of auctions.
Well, we are right now. I mean, the sun's beginning to come out. The flowers are blooming. So, it's we're getting ready to get started in our spring season. And we've had a little rough weather here for January and February, but it looks like we're getting back in full swing, and everybody's we had a sale Saturday and had a great crowd, and everybody came out, and we all had a good time, and we're planning to carry it on through March and April and on up through the spring.
Well, no doubt you will. You always do. But if you want to have an auction, you can't have it overnight.
That's true.
It takes planning and some time. So call and call ahead of time, and of course call A.G. and Johnson.
It's hard to do them overnight, but it's hard to do
them
overnight.
Any kind of listing you're
That's
interested
true.
in, of course.
That's true. I mean, and right now is a great time if you're looking for a home. I mean, our inventory's up some. It looks like in the county right now. There's several homes to pick from out there. If you are interested in buying a home, I'd appreciate call one of our agents. They'd be glad to help you set up and get you in and show you some on the private side. Show you spend all day looking at houses.
All right. Well, just a reminder: you've been voted best of Wilson County, best auction firm, Best auctioneer, that being you, Jay White, and best real estate firm. That's nice.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Well, of course they do it every year, and I don't know if you win it every year, but you get your name out there.
We do. And that's we appreciate the community standing behind us and being and backing us.
They have since 1978.
77.
Jay, thanks so much.
Thanks you.
See you next week.
All right. See y'all.
Jay White with A.J. Johnson Realty and Auction, 728 West Main in Lebanon. And that phone number again is 615-444-0909. We're 21 before the hour, and I want to welcome Scott Moore as my guest this morning with Sellers Funeral Home, who's been here before. But Scott, good morning, and we welcome you again to our program.
And good morning, Coleman. It's great to be here, and thanks for allowing us to come back again.
Well, how's it been?
It's been great. We've been very busy, which is not a good thing to say in the funeral industry. You hate to see that people are having to use you, but it's also a good time for people to get out and be making plans and pre-arranging, and that's kind of what I'm here to talk about today. But it's been good, and it's just great to work in the community and just help people on one of their worst days of their life to be able to help them.
Right. How did you get into this, if I may ask?
Yeah, my mother passed away, Dolly Moore. She passed away in October of 2018. And that was a tough day to lose her, but I quickly realized that there was a lot of things that needed to be done. And I realized that a bad day could get worse when you have to make so many decisions. And I was so blessed to just get the Lord open some doors, and I met Judge Sellers and the staff with Sellers Funeral Home, and made a career change in 2020 and got my insurance license to work at Sellers and work in pre-need and pre-planning, and I've been doing it ever since. And so Mom's passing was what kind of pushed me to get into this, and it's been a joy ever since.
Well, there's some great advantages, I think, and you just sort of touched on it, but there's a lot to be said by having things planned out ahead, and especially not putting so much pressure and a lot of even heartache and grief on somebody at a time like that.
It really is, and that's one of the reasons why I'm here. And I first want to brag on your show. Every time I come on here, we do these seminars every quarter, so 4 times a year. And every time we come on, we get such great response from people listening to your radio show, and so that's why we're here. But this coming Tuesday night, March the 14th at 6 p.m. at Las Compadres Mexican Restaurant. We're having a life planning seminar, and all they have to do is just show up with an appetite, and we're going to feed them and give them a lot of information and let them make the decision if they want to pursue talking with me about pre-planning and pre-arranging. But it's next Tuesday night, and we want to invite anybody that can come to give us a call and RSVP and plan on coming that night.
All right, what's that phone number?
The phone number to call is 444-9393, and that's the Sellers Funeral Home here in Lebanon. And then my cell number, they're welcome to call that if they like. My cell number is 615-920-9420.
9420.
That's right.
Oh, 920-9420 or 444-9393.
Correct, that's right.
And that's the best way to
just give us a call.
You do need to let you know that you're coming. You need to know how many.
You need to RSVP by the end of business tomorrow, Friday. And so if we can get an exact count by Friday, we can let the restaurant know how many we're planning to come and have to attend. And so tomorrow's the deadline to sign up, and we'd love to have as many as possible to come. We have about 17 signed up right now, and I'd love to see double that if they wanted to come. We'd be glad to feed them all.
You got room for 40?
We do. We have room for 40, so we'd love to see as many as could make plans to come.
How long, including eating time, I guess, are we talking about?
You know, an hour and 15 minutes at the best. They're going to come in at 6, sit down, and at that time, we'll start sharing some information with them while their food's being prepared. Their food will be brought to them around 6:30 to 6:40, and they'll eat. And at that time, I'll come around and meet each one individually and talk with them. And they'll be gone by hour and 15 minutes, hour and 30 at the most.
Well, you have done this before, so you've probably, as we say sometimes, get the bugs worked out. You know what works, what doesn't, what to say, what not to say, how long to keep them. So you got to streamline. That's the word.
Well, we've realized if we go ahead and feed them, they're happier. So we let them start eating right away.
Well, Again, there are advantages, and we could even mention a few of those, even more than we have, a little bit more in depth as to some of the advantages in the pre-planning.
You know, I have 5 that I really mention to people I talk with, and the first thing is just guaranteeing the cost. You know, we talk about inflation every day, and when a person comes in and pre-plans, whatever the cost of the funeral service they select that day, that's going to be the cost that's guaranteed for them, no matter if they live 1 day or 30 years from the time they meet with me. The costs are guaranteed, so the cost will not increase for them. And the second thing is,
let me say,
go ahead.
Inflation, if we keep having the inflation we've seen here in the last year or two, that's a big thing.
That's a huge savings. I can tell you the first preneed policy I wrote for a couple, it was a husband and wife. The first one I wrote for them, the traditional burial was $8,400, and that was service, visitation, the chapel service, the burial at the cemetery, opening and closing. And then if you look at that, $8,400, 2.5, almost 3 years ago to today, they would save, $2,000 or $3,000, $4,000 based on what they select. So inflation is going to keep going up, I'm sure. And so we want to make sure that we can let people guarantee the cost.
Okay, you said you had 5 things.
Well, real quick, I can.
Okay. Tell us the next. We'll go to a break, and you can expound on it when we come back.
After it guarantees the cost, it protects your money. If a person ever has to go to nursing home care or nursing facility, this money is irrevocably assigned for burial only. Medicaid and Social Security cannot touch it. So they cannot take it away from you. We can talk more about that after the break if you want to.
Let's do. Scott Moore is with us with Sellers Funeral Home, and this is Coleman and Company, FM 98.9.
And it's 7:46. Let's see what's happening on the roadways. Thanks to Absolute Kubota. They have a deal designed to keep you ahead of schedule. Check out the world's #1 selling compact excavator, plus 0% financing going on now until the end of the year. Absolute Kubota, 1506 West Main. Now with traffic, here's Chuck.
Boy, they're cleaning up the paperwork on the wreck. People are still staring at it as they drive by. 40 westbound over here at Central Pike, coming through this stretch of Hermitage. Behind it, you got all this traffic being pushed in right now from Wilson County, arriving in this area as they clean up this wreck on 40 westbound at Central Pike. It's busy, but it's moving down 65 through Robertson County. A little bit of traffic coming off that ramp from Vietnam Vets onto 65. They're going southbound. That's running a little bit slow sometimes. Princess Hot Chicken is catering. Check out that awesome menu today. PrincessHotChicken.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
The refreshing cool after coming in from a hot summer day. The perfect temperature to kick off your shoes and relax with a good book. When the weather heats up, a new Rheem AC system will surround your family in total comfort. Are you feeling it? Rheem, the new degree of comfort.
Financing available through TVA's Energy Right program and your local power company. Call Randy's Heat and Air 237-3604.
Rheem, the new degree of comfort.
Hey, this is Paul with Bates Ford, and come down to Bates Ford and check out our new inventory we've got. We've got several new vehicles on the ground, plus we've replenished our used car with several luxury Lincolns. On the service side, we got the Works package. That's an oil change and a tire rotation for the low price of $59.95. Will beat anybody's price on tires, and the cheapest battery in town. Come down to Bates Ford, 1673 West Main, or visit us on the web, www.tonybatesford.com, the dealer that'll trade for anything that don't eat.
Live it up with the deal of a lifetime from TDS. Get symmetrical 1 gig fiber internet for only $59.99 a month, and the price is locked for life. Same price today, next year, the year after, you get the idea. Plus, no contract and a 30-day money-back guarantee. Future-proof, inflation-proof, super-fast 1 gig internet, only $59.99 a month for life. Life's good. Visit tdstv.com/lifetime. Internet speeds are up to and not guaranteed. Subject to availability. See website for details.
And again, good morning. Welcome to our final segment here on a Thursday morning. Scott Moore is with us, Sellers Funeral Home. And what are you calling this? A seminar?
It's called a Life Planning Seminar.
Life Planning Seminar is next Tuesday, the 14th of March, 6 p.m.
Correct.
And where?
It's going to be at Las Compadres Mexican Restaurant. That's right there at 818 Cumberland, right there at the corner of 40 and the main street coming in on Lebanon right there.
Right. All right. Now, you do need to let people know you want to attend, and that is very important because you've got through tomorrow.
Correct.
And best way to do that is go to the telephone.
Give us a call either at the funeral home at 444-9393, or they can call my cell at 920-9420.
Okay, we were talking about that. You really you had five things that you tell people about prepaid funerals and what you do here. And the guarantee cost was number one, and then you started on number two, and we had to go to the break.
Well, it protects the money. Medicaid and Social Security cannot take it from you. A lot of times when people enter the nursing home, there's what they call a spin down, and they take you down to $2,000, and that's really devastating for a lot of people. And so in that situation, this money is protected. Medicaid and Social Security cannot take it.
You have already taken care of this, and it cannot be touched, and that's a very important thing.
It is. And, the other thing is, Coleman, it's just it's peace of mind. Knowing that as you live your life every day and enjoy our city and your families and time with everywhere that you go, the peace of mind that knowing that this is taken care of is just a huge benefit. And I also mentioned to people, it just removes the stress from your loved ones. When death occurs, people don't realize this. There's really almost 100 decisions that a family has to make. And they're a wide range of decisions, but there's so many decisions and questions to be answered. And when someone takes the time to pre-plan and pre-arrange, we ask all those questions then. And so at the time of passing, everything, it's just one phone call to the funeral home. Those questions have been answered. So it gives you peace of mind and takes the stress off your family. And then the last thing, and number 5, and I always tell people this and share this with folks, this is really a gift that you can give your family after you're gone. It's the one last thing you can do to tell your family you loved them and you took care of this and pre-planned and took the time to give thought to pre-arranging before death occurred. And I know people hate talking about death. It's not a fun subject, but our whole purpose in life is to live life to the fullest, and you can do that a lot better if you know these things are taken care of.
Well, now I'm trying to imagine the scenario here, and some things you pretty much know right up front what you want, but a lot of times there's some indecision. How do you deal with indecision? You've got to come up with something here. You got to pre-plan so far.
Yeah, I'm a big baseball fan, and I always use a quote from Yogi Berra: "When you come to a fork in the road, take it." And so I always tell people, we can talk and talk and talk, but eventually we're going to have to come to a fork in the road. We're going to make some decisions. And so the first thing we do is kind of find out with the family, tell me your background, tell me what's important to you, find out a little bit about them, and then start working toward, are you looking toward cremation? Are you looking toward traditional burial? And then we start getting some ideas. And once we know which path we're going down after that question, then we can start showing. And a person can pre-plan everything. And when I say everything, I mean paying for the minister, the flowers, the obituary, the death certificates, everything. Or they can just take and pre-plan just the necessities, the service, the pickup, and all the things that go along with that. And they can do as much or as little as they want. And I tell people, and I say this every time I meet with people, we're only going to do what you tell us to do. We're not going to try to pressure you, and they won't get pressure Tuesday night. They're going to get a lot of information and a good meal and a smile and a lot of happy thoughts, but they're also going to be assured that they're not going to be pressured to do anything that night or when they meet with us to make these plans.
Well, that's good too. I think all of us pretty much have our own time frame the way we want to do something. Some people will just jump at an opportunity. Others sometimes will wait too long.
Right.
You put it off and put it off. So there has to be this sense of urgency created, I think. You need to do it, but you don't have to do everything right this minute.
Correct.
And you do need to think a little bit. But I appreciate what you said there, and the fact that you don't have to, you can do as little or as much. And if somebody, let's say they have a minister that they want or people they want to be pallbearers. So none of us are guaranteed tomorrow, and that can change overnight. And,
right.
And of course, you're certainly aware of that.
Yep. You know, I think the biggest thing is they can write down so many things. I met with a gentleman one time, and it's sort of a not comical, but it was important to him. He had a certain path he wanted us to take whenever he passes for his procession to the cemetery. And that was a really big, he was sincere and very serious about that. And, you know, and I took it serious when I talked to him, and I understood what his motive was behind how he wanted to do that. But we write that stuff down. We put it in their file so when death occurs, we can say, you know, they shared with me they wanted this particular thing done. And so we like to do that. And, you know, if a family doesn't have a minister, the thing I enjoy about my job is helping people pre-plan. But so many times, probably 2-3 times a week, somebody will ask me to speak at their service. And I enjoy doing that because when you meet with them in advance and you've gotten to know them, at the time of death, if you get to speak at their service, that's such an honor, but it's such a joy to help that family during that time. And so I really enjoy that aspect of it too, which is not part of pre-planning or pre-arranging, but a part that I find so much fun in my job.
Well, you can spend a lot. You can spend an awful lot, really, by some standards. And but there's pretty much a minimum amount you're going to have to spend if you take the very least way out.
Right. You know, really, cost is you have the control to choose what you want. You know, a person can spend anywhere from $3,000 for final expenses, and I've seen people spend as much as $13,000, $14,000, $15,000. You can do whatever you want. I think people need to realize that cost starts coming into play when you start making selections with caskets, with outer burial containers. Those things are choices, just like you buy a car. You know, you can get the very best, or you can get the mid-range, or you can get the least expensive. So there's a lot of choices, and we talk to people and educate them on what to do and how to do that.
What about somebody that either does have or doesn't, in either case, has have or doesn't have a burial plot already? How do you deal with that?
Well, we help them. Sellers Funeral Home owns Mount Juliet Memorial Gardens. And so if a person comes to me and says, I want to pre-plan and I want to do a traditional burial, at that time, we're so appreciative that they want to use us and use our services. I will give, or sellers will give, a free plot at Mount Juliet Memorial Gardens for them to have to be buried in. They will still pay for opening and closing, but we will give them a free plot. If they want to purchase a plot at some other cemetery, that is fine, and we can coordinate with the cemetery and do that, but that, you know, something we can do with that.
And some might already have bought a plot.
Correct, they may
somewhere.
have.
Or there might be a family cemetery that...
Exactly.
Yeah, there's so many variables here. You know a lot more about this than I do because you deal with it all the time. But you're going to be able to find out a lot if you come to your seminar.
Next Tuesday, 6 p.m., Los Compadres Mexican Restaurant, RSVP by tomorrow. And let me just say this, if there's churches, businesses, or groups that are out there that would like us to come to your facility, we will supply the meal, and it won't cost them anything, and we will do a planning seminar for them specifically. We do one each quarter for the public to RSVP to. But if a church, group, civic organization, business, or anything would like us to come, be more than happy to come, do a quick presentation, and just give information for them.
Well, I take it this has been quite successful for you, and even coming here on the radio, you get a few people who will call and make plans to come and attend. But again, I think we need to point out it's totally free. You don't pay for your meal. You don't pay for listening to you.
Absolutely
You just show up.
Just show up, and I promise you we're not going to ask for one penny that night. We're not going to ask you to sign up and do a pre-need policy that night. No business transaction will take place at the dinner. It's strictly information, a free meal, and you decide if you want to come talk to us, and we'll be more than happy to talk.
So really, this next Tuesday night is not to sign anybody up that night.
Exactly.
They're going to hear what you have to say. If they like it, they're going to come in later and take care of all this.
Exactly. They always say there's no such thing as a free lunch. There's a free supper, I promise you. There really is.
Well, it depends on a lot of things, but how long, once somebody decides they want to go this route, and they come to see you, you talking about an hour, you talking about 3 or 4 hours?
I will give anybody as much time as they want. If they know what they want, we can make it quick. And if they tell me I'm on a time limit, we can hone it down to 30, 40 minutes. If they want to talk and go through a lot of questions, I'll give them an hour, 2 hours. I'll give them any time they want.
Well, one thing about it, you're getting to know them a little bit better that way.
Sure are.
What if somebody needs to make some changes later on, or change their mind, maybe even the casket selection or something like that?
That happened with us just a few months ago with a couple here in Lebanon, but they can make the changes. These things are irrevocably assigned for burial, but at the time of death, if they said, we selected this, but we want to add this, they can. If they said, we selected this, but after talking, we want to be a little more simpler and not as much as we did, they can do that. Whatever money is left over that's not used in the policy will go back to their beneficiary that they've selected. And if they choose more than what they selected, they would just pay the difference in what they added to it. These policies are good anywhere in the United States. I know we're here in Lebanon and we're talking about Lebanon, but if they were to move to Florida or wherever, these policies are transferable to any other funeral home. And so they're yours, you own them, and you can take them wherever you want.
Okay, Scott, we're about out of time here. Scott Moore with Sellers Funeral Home. One more time, you need to call 444-9393. That's the funeral home, or your cell phone, 615-920-9420, and do it by tomorrow.
Correct, by tomorrow afternoon. And I know our time is limited, but I got 2 grandsons that are up on spring break listening. So Leo and Knox, good morning from T-Daddy.
Thank you for being with us, Scott. We appreciate it.
Thank you. Take care.
That's going to do it for Thursday. Hope you'll join us tomorrow for Coleman and Company. Till then, I wish you a tremendous day.